And the thing about social media is, and my whole website, bradmarston.com, is
Very
built
well
on
done.
built
Very
on
well
a
done.
social networking platform.
Very well
and
done.
it's not about my just blasting my information out. Virtually every page, you can leave a comment. You can jump on the forums. My YouTube videos, I don't shut off comments. Twitter, I engage with people.
So you're
'cause it's
totally
gotta
interactive.
Exactly.
Totally
I mean, my cell phone number is listed on my website. I'm not, I'm
Now,
out
how
there
many
looking-
representatives that are in Beacon Hill right now do you know that put their cell phone out there so you can reach them when you have a problem? Brad, I moved from Dorchester with my mom. We jointly bought a condo in Randolph in May. We signed our purchase contract in April. It was all planned around my getting the first-time home buyer credit for the new home so I could pay off debts that I got because we kept having floods in my area of Dorchester because the water and sewer infrastructure was poorly maintained. Of course, they denied any liability. I went and testified at a public hearing before the Public Safety Committee at the Boston City Council on behalf of all the residents in that area and other parts of Dorchester, the property owners that lost so much, water heaters, oil burners and boilers. I had to replace them 3 times, once each year when we had floods. I got tens of thousands of dollars of debt. I wanted to use my home buyer credit to pay that off so I can manage my new mortgage. I've been waiting 20 weeks.
Right.
And I did everything I was supposed to do. So I wrote a letter about this to Senator Kerry, to Senator Scott Brown, who I didn't vote for. I voted for Martha Coakley. I've always voted Democrat. I never voted for a Republican. But I'm technically unenrolled. Okay? And also to my representative in the U.S. House, Stephen Lynch. The only one that responded back to me was Scott Brown's office, who called me the very next day. They called 3 times and had a letter ready to send to the Taxpayer Advocate Service of the Internal Revenue Service to advocate on my behalf. It didn't matter that I was a Republican or a Democrat or who I voted for, and to me, that is real constituent services. So Scott Brown, if you're on the ballot, I'm voting for you. I'm voting Republican for that one guy for one time.
In 2012, Senator Brown will be back on the ballot.
I want him to know that I appreciate that his office in Boston called me the very next day and was already ready to act. They probably looked at my letter and said, are they doing this to the taxpayer, making them wait and carry debts 4 and 5 months? Are they treating everybody like we're all committing fraud? No, we are American hard-working taxpayers who deserve this credit, and we need to have it so that we're not supporting the banks, which we're already doing through these bank bailouts and stuff. I'm already supporting Citibank and Bank of America.
Well, the bailouts were bad enough, but even if there hadn't been the bailouts, the taxpayers are supporting the banks because they have the implicit guarantee of, the federal government will come in, or in the case of FDIC insurance, it's taxpayer dollars, a combination of taxpayer dollars, etc. It would be so much more expensive for those banks to raise money if there wasn't that government guarantee of their deposits. So the subsidies are built into the system, and it's great to know that Senator Brown's office did get back to you as quickly as they did.
Do you think that the IRS should make any taxpayer wait 4 months to get the $8,000 home buyer credit, which is touted as something to help not only the economy and the banks, but the American home market? And
no,
it's not helping us.
You look at any private company, and if they were offering a rebate program, I mean, sure, there's some private companies that kind of scam those things.
Right.
But, legitimate company, they have a rebate program. You don't wait 4 months for your money, and you don't have to call your congressman or senator to get it out of them.
Right. And the IRS, if you owed them money and it was 1 month, they'd slap 10% interest on it. They should give me 10% interest for every month that I had to wait and carry expenses for 2 homes, my old home and my new home. I can't do it. Nobody in America can do it unless you're Donald Trump. And even he shouldn't have to do it. If you're supposed to get this tax credit and you did everything right, you did everything you're supposed to do, the IRS is supposed to give you your money in a reasonable time.
Well, part of the problem is there's no there's no incentive for government to work efficiently.
That's
so
true. And
you know,
we all get hurt.
I actually went into I went into a government office and was chatting with someone, and I said, "But what's your goal?" And they kind of didn't understand what I was asking. I said, "Well, I process these applications." I said, "No, that's a job description. What's your goal?" And they didn't. And I finally said, "Your goal should be something like, my goal is to process 127 applications each week with an error rate of 0.1% or lower." And then once you achieve that goal, you should be sitting there thinking, okay, how do we move that number to 137%?
Or even better than that, Brad, rather than them focusing on numbers, those numbers and those applications usually represent a human being like me.
Well, true.
And they should be thinking about how they can better serve their constituency and the American people. And a lot of them don't think like that. They think I'm the boss, I'm Jesus, and I'm Joseph, and I'm Mary. Bow down to me, until they come to the polls. And I'm just like those Tea Partiers. I want to throw everybody out, including Governor Patrick.
One of the things that the Tea Party always say, you know, the chance is, they work for us. They work for us.
Which is what all of them are supposed to do.
You know, I have a sort of philosophical question of why do we need these powerful public employee unions? Because who do they work for? They work for the people. Who are they protecting their workers from? They're protecting them from you, me, the average taxpayer.
Right.
I'm not sure they need that protection.
We need to remind them that they're not soldiers, and it's not an adventure. It's your job. Let's take a listen to Brad Marston. We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Brad Marston. I'm the Republican candidate for state representative from the 8th Suffolk District, but I'm also one of the original 10 signers of what's now ballot question 3 to roll the sales tax back to 3%. On November 2nd, I'll be voting yes, and I urge you to do the same. A 3% sales tax will make us competitive with our neighboring states, create thousands of new jobs, and millions of dollars in private investments. Passage of question 3 will actually make my job as a legislator easier, because it means I have a voter mandate to go up to Beacon Hill and clean up the mess that even the Boston Globe calls a bloated, dysfunctional bureaucracy. We need to build a better Beacon Hill, and that means a smaller one too. So on November 2nd, vote for me for state representative and vote yes on ballot question 3.